The mystery machine traveled along a narrow road surrounded by tall trees, swaying under the force of strong winds. The storm intensified, forcing Fred to slow down. Lightning illuminated the sky, revealing a rusted sign ahead. Shadowy Hotel. Discover the legend. Daphne, gazing out the window, remarked on the mysterious atmosphere of the place. Velma, curious, pointed out that the name sounded like it was taken from a horror story. Scooby and Shaggy, however, only cared about whether there was food available. As they parked, an unsettling feeling washed over the group, as though something invisible was watching them from the darkness. The hotel lobby was imposing, with high ceilings and an ancient chandelier that hung precariously. The dark wooden walls were adorned with old portraits whose eyes seemed to follow the visitors. The receptionist, an aged man dressed in a dark cloak, handed over the keys with a disturbing smile, warning them that the hallways aren't safe after midnight. Scooby and Shaggy exchanged nervous glances, clearly terrified, while Fred tried to reassure the group. The sound of a clock echoed through the space, marking the beginning of a long night full of mysteries. The rooms were arranged along a long hallway, where every step seemed amplified by the creaking wooden floor. When Daphne opened her room door, she noticed an ornate antique mirror. As she approached, she saw something unusual in the reflection, a shadow quickly passing behind her. Velma discovered a diary hidden in a drawer, with pages detailing mysterious disappearances at the hotel. Fred, keeping an eye on the windows, noticed claw marks on the frame, while Scooby and Shaggy debated whether to sleep with the lights on. The tension escalated as the night wore on. In search of something to eat, Scooby and Shaggy stumbled into a kitchen that looked frozen in time. The food on the table seemed freshly prepared, but the room was dusty and empty. When Scooby reached for a tray of cookies, a metallic sound echoed, followed by pans crashing to the floor. A hooded figure appeared briefly, disappearing before they could react. They ran to warn the others, while Daphne and Velma in the hallway heard laughter coming from a nearby room. Something or someone was toying with their nerves. Gathered in the kitchen, Velma observed the old utensils, noting that only a few knives were impeccably clean. Fred suggested splitting up to investigate, taking Scooby and Shaggy with him while Daphne and Velma explored the library. The group dispersed, but the feeling of being watched persisted. Suddenly, a low whistling sound began to echo through the corridors, growing louder as they moved. The shadows on the walls seemed to move on their own, and an unusual chill spread through the hotel, freezing the air around them. Daphne and Velma entered a library filled with dusty books and towering shelves that seemed to touch the ceiling. One of the books glowed faintly, revealing cryptic symbols and messages. Meanwhile, Fred, Scooby, and Shaggy explored the basement, where they discovered chests full of old belongings, including clothes and jewelry from missing guests. Fred found a map of the hotel showing hidden passages, while Scooby dug frantically in a corner, uncovering a lever that opened a secret door. The discovery led them to an even more sinister path. The door led Fred and the others into a narrow underground passage, with damp walls and a metallic smell in the air. Scooby hesitated to move forward, but the promise of cookies convinced him. Meanwhile, Daphne found a golden medallion in a hidden compartment in the library, with initials matching those of a couple mentioned in Velma's diary. The sound of heavy footsteps made both of them run to regroup with the others. The environment felt alive, reacting to their every move, as though the hotel itself was watching them. In the underground passage, Fred led the group through winding corridors, while Scooby sniffed out something unusual. Shaggy stumbled over a pile of ancient bones, escalating their panic. Now reunited, Velma and Daphne analyzed the medallion, noticing it matched a carved pedestal on the basement wall. Before they could proceed, the hooded figure reappeared, blocking their exit and whispering something incomprehensible. Fear gripped the group, but Fred remained calm, searching for a solution. Determined, Fred confronted the figure, revealing it to be the hotel's receptionist who had been hiding a dark secret. He explained that the hotel was built over a cursed cemetery and that the missing couple were the original guardians of the place. Velma deduced that the medallion was the key to breaking the curse, while Scooby accidentally activated another mechanism, revealing a hidden altar. Cornered, the receptionist admitted that the curse could only be lifted if the medallion was placed in the right spot. At the altar, symbols carved into the walls glowed brightly as the medallion neared. Daphne placed the artifact into position, and a powerful light filled the room. Spirits began to emerge, thanking the group for freeing them. The receptionist, now revealed as the last descendant of the cursed couple, decided to remain to ensure the spirits found peace. The oppressive atmosphere transformed, bringing a sense of liberation. The hotel began to collapse, and Fred ordered everyone to leave quickly. As they ran through the hallways, the sound of crumbling walls and crashing furniture echoed around them. Scooby and Shaggy tripped multiple times, but managed to escape just in time. Outside, they watched as the hotel completely collapsed, reduced to rubble. The ground shook one last time before settling into silence. The first rays of dawn began to light the area, offering the group a moment of relief. When the dust settled, Velma examined the debris and found a stone inscribed with symbols similar to those on the medallion. Daphne remarked on how the place felt calmer but still carried an air of mystery. Scooby and Shaggy, relieved, sat down to eat some cookies while the group reflected on the experience. Fred, still thoughtful, promised they would investigate further to uncover what had really happened. The medallion, glowing softly, seemed to hold secrets that time had yet to reveal. The dawn brought a sense of renewal, but something in the air suggested the mystery was not completely solved. Among the rubble, the medallion glowed faintly, as if holding one last secret. The mystery machine drove away, with the group discussing what to do with their findings. The feeling that something had been left behind still haunted them all. Was this the end of the mystery, or just the beginning of another dark story? As they drove away, a faint, distant laugh echoed through the area, leaving the question lingering. Was this truly the end? Scooby and Shaggy, ever ready for a meal, joked about avoiding isolated hotels, while Fred assured them they would solve any mystery that came their way. Daphne, thoughtful, held the medallion in her hands, sensing that the story wasn't entirely over. The shadowy hotel's past may have been buried, but it hadn't disappeared. The hotel may have vanished, but its legacy of secrets persists. As the mystery machine disappeared on the horizon, the medallion's faint glow among the rubble promised that the shadowy hotel's past might never be completely laid to rest. The screen fades to black, leaving the audience with an unsettling feeling. A new mystery could emerge at any moment, and the friends will be ready to face it, no matter the cost.